and welcome back to my channel this week. As always, I'm really looking forward to sharing my content with you. If you're new to my channel, then welcome to this calm space where I enjoy sharing my weekly crafting, baking, DIYing and country style decor. If you enjoy my content, then please subscribe to my channel's growing, wonderful and welcoming community. Thank you. As a special thank you to my viewers, this week I've decided to put some names on my craft table in appreciation of their contributions, helping me to achieve a special and comfortable place to get on with my hobbies. Carl's going to be taking some photos of these gorgeous bluebells. My plan is to make some pictures with them and perhaps put them in my new craft room. Oh. Okay, a quick hot chocolate before I carry on with my memo board from last week. I've marked on these intersections 2 points because I plan on putting a button at each intersection of these diamonds. So I'm actually drilling through. Let's have a go. I'm not very good with a drill, but I'm having a go. So on the back of my board, I've marked out all the driller holes so it's easier for me to see when I come to sewing the buttons on at the end. This is my basket of scrap fabrics and this is what I'm going to be using for my memo board. I don't know if you've noticed, but Carl has kindly painted my chairs. So we have one in, it's called Farrow and Ball Schoolhouse White, and this chair here is painted in Velspar, A Flock of Seagulls. I'm really pleased with both of them. He's done such a good job. Can you remember last week me saying that my friend Dee, she mentioned a mini ironing board from IKEA? Well, I've been and got one and I'm delighted with it. And it was only £5. I don't know how they make it for £5, but it's so handy to have. Thank you, Dee. So in my last video, I mentioned that I was going to be making a patchwork covering for the front of my memo board. And I said that I was probably going to do a pattern that I believe was called hopscotch, but I've had a change of heart and I've decided that I'm going to do a quarter log cabin design instead. I was looking on Pinterest at some designs and that one really caught my eye, so I'm going to do that instead. I haven't done the log cabin design before, but I've looked into it and I think it's relatively quite simple, she says. So first things first, I'm just ironing my scraps because the log cabin design that I'm going to make is going to be made up of lots of scraps. I'm not buying any new fabric at all for this project. As well as using scraps, I'm also going to be making this log cabin in a kind of a scrappy design, so I'm not going to be doing lots of measuring and making sure everything's equal. I'm going to be randomly putting the fabric together to make uneven lines in my log cabin. I'm hoping it works. I'll give it a go and see how I get on. Otherwise I'll have to revert to doing it precise. This fabric here is, I believe it's Tilda, and I can remember making a quilt for my mum and dad out of old Tilda material, and this is one of the scraps, and I just love the colours in it. So I think this will look nice on the memo board, making it all nice and colourful. So without trying to sound like Blue Peter, here's one I made earlier. So this is what I call a quarter log cabin design. So yeah, I've used all my scraps and it's in a scrappy design. So, and then what I've done is I've put a 6-inch set square on top and cut round, making sure that it is to size, so they're all equal. So I shall carry on with my next one. Okay, I'm now ready to start sewing these fabric scraps together to make another log cabin quarter. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've placed my cutting board over my table where I've put some names so you can't have a sneaky peek. Christine, Tracy, D, Sophie, 2222 Fine, Lottie and Raywin. Thank you so much for helping me to make my craft room. I really appreciate your support. Thank you. I wonder whose name will be next on the table.